Welcome back again, my YouTube channel. This is your boy back again, Wafla Isaac, and in this video, we're going to be looking at very many different things. We're going to be looking at HTML. We're going to learn how to use CSS, HTML, and JavaScript. So remember, in the recent videos I've been creating on this channel, we've been looking at coding challenges. We've looked at very many coding challenges so far. But now in this video, I'm going to be looking at how to create a game using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. We all know what HTML does. HTML is a language for the web. It's like the markup language for the web. And also JavaScript is also a language that gives interactivity on web pages. And then CSS simply gives a beautiful design, like styling. Yeah, so I won't be learn if you've never done HTML, don't worry because I'm going to be explaining everything. Yes. If you've never done CSS, don't worry because I'm going to explain everything in this video. JavaScript, I think most of you have to be knowing some little bit of JavaScript. Yes, for you to do this video. But the rest of the things I'll make sure that I explain everything. Okay. So without wasting a lot of your time, I'm going to first demo for you how the game looks like for those who don't know how to play this game. This is the game. I've opened it in this browser. So this is how the game goes. We have like the game is played by two players, and you as a player you have to make sure that your opponent doesn't have his or her figure in the same line like this. You shouldn't allow that to happen, or in the same or in this line like this. Okay, horizontally and vertically. You shouldn't allow your opponent to be having his figures aligned in that horizontal line, or even if it's in the diagonal form here. You shouldn't allow your opponent to have figures that are in this diagonal line. Okay, for assuming I'm in player 1 and player 1 is having x, assuming player 2 places his figure here, and maybe me as a player 1, I place my x here again. Assuming player 2 can't see this line, maybe it's very possible, can't see this spot here to block me. So assuming it doesn't block me here, maybe assuming it places the 0 here, and then I place my x here. Boom, you see this diagonal line has made me win this game. Okay, because I'm having this x in this diagonal line, so I win. Player x has won. Okay, so I won't be using as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I won't be explaining everything to come up with this game, and I believe at the end of the video I'm going to leave you with some little bit of homework. Okay, this thing is not somehow complete, so I'll give the last part as a challenge, homework for you guys to do, so that we can practice and be perfect with these skills. Okay, so I've already opened up my VS Code and I put it as a folder. I put it a folder on my desktop. The folder is called Tic Tac Toe. You can name it anything you want. You can call it a game. You can basically call it anything. But for me, I've decided to choose Tic Tac Toe because that's the name of the game. So in this folder, I have to make sure that I'm going to add like 3 files. And the first file is index.html. Okay, index.html. Another line we shouldn't be forgetting, another file we shouldn't be forgetting is index.css. I'm going to name all the files index.css. Okay, then the other file will be index.js, because index.js will hold our markup. I will hold up our logic for making all those functionalities you had seen in the game. So I'll come up with my index.js file, which will contain our JavaScript. Okay, so this is the root. Index.html will be the root of our project. I'll just press I'll just get the exclamation mark like this. Oh no, not this file, index.js html. Okay, Just press this exclamation mark to give you the markup or the boilerplate. Press enter. You see, you get the boilerplate. Okay, you do it like this. Press an exclamation mark, then you press enter to give you the boilerplate of the project. So here, the document, I'll name it Tic Tac Toe. Tic Tac Toe. Okay. So in this file, remember having these other two files, index.js and index.css. One of the first things I want to do before I do anything else, I want to first link these files in my HTML file. So I'm going to first link my CSS file, though it's currently empty, but it's better to link these things before you proceed to anything else in order not to forget. So this is how you link a CSS file. So you put rel style sheet, then the file, you put the file where the CSS is located. So my CSS is in this directory. It's here. You press a dot and this slash, then you link your CSS like that. So now my CSS is linked. Then the other thing I want to link is the JavaScript, and my JavaScript I'm going to link it in the body tag. So you come inside your body tag, you put a script tag, okay, and here you're going to basically be putting the source of your file. So just type src, press enter, then index.js. Okay, yeah. So to test out whether my stuff has been linked, I'm going to just press, let me put something like text here. So there's an extension I've installed here. It's called live preview. Oh, sorry. It's called live preview. Here, I've installed this extension to help me have a preview of this HTML file within this VS Code. So to show you that, this is how you do it. So you just right click, then you open it. You just use this option of show preview. And I click that, you see it has opened this on this port, in the port 3000. Okay, so every update I make here, any change I make here will be visible here. So I don't need to first I don't need to first run. You see, everything you do here gets updated there automatically. Now I put body like that. It's being updated in real time. Okay. The other thing I forgot to tell you is that me, I always enable autosave. You come and enable autosave here so that you don't need to keep on saving your files. Okay, when you enable autosave, just keep coding without pressing Ctrl S to save your changes. That's a really good idea. I always use. Okay, so to see whether my CSS is being linked, I can just come inside here. I can target the body, and let me try giving it a background color of black. Background color of black. You see, my CSS is linked. Okay, so let me go back in my index.html file. Let me size this a little bit like that. So I'm in my index.html file. So in this index.html file, remember, I want to come up with something like this. Okay, this is the final build. How to come up with something like this before we go any further. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to create a div tag. I'm going to first create a div. Inside my div, I'm going to create another div. In this div, I'll give it a class, a CSS class of app. Okay, we're going to give the CSS rules later on. Let me first put the markup for for the entire game. Then the other div I'm going to be having a div that's going to have the board. Okay, remember this is the board. What you're seeing here is the board. Okay, so basically I call it a board because that's where you play. That's where you play from. Okay, so this board, I give it a class of board. Okay, so inside here I'm going to have cells. Okay, so these are how many cells are these are roughly 9 cells. Okay, so we're going to make sure to create these 9 cells. Okay, so we're going to create 9 divs having a class name called cell. Okay, so we're going to have 9 divs here. So these 9 divs will hold our cells you've seen the other side. So we're going to have, I'll just give it a class of cell. Class of cell. So just copy paste this. Copy paste. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, sorry. 8, 9. Okay. So we're having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're having 9 cells, and that's what we exactly want. So at this point, I can now start styling out my stuff. Sorry by slowly. So my body, I'm going to first target my body tag first of all. This body tag, I'm going to give there some. I'm going to give there some styles. So inside here, I want the background color to be background color. Oh, background color. Background color. I want blue, but then this blue, I want to replicate this blue you're seeing here. So to get that exact color, click here. You can click here and then see. Oh, I think that one is a little bit close. Yeah, it's close to the final build. Yeah. So after that, so my background is set. The other thing I want to give a display flex. Display flex. The other thing, this body I wanted to have a justification, justify content center. I want everything here inside to be in the center. Okay. Then the other thing, I will align items center. Then font family, I will choose anything here because actually the font doesn't matter even. The font doesn't care, but you can put any font you want. Then the other thing, I think the body is set for now. Then the other thing before we go forward, before the body here, we have HTML body. We're going to set this to a height. We want the height to be 100%. 100%. Okay. Alright, so the other thing you have to do after the body, after styling the body, next thing we want to do is to style the board. Remember the board has our cells. So the board, we go to the board. Let me hope this is the exact spelling. Okay. Yeah, let me just copy this in order not to get in order not to make mistakes. I can just copy that. But I can have exactly the same thing. Okay, so inside here I want the height of the board. The height of the board to be 300 pixels. I want it to be a square, remember, so the height and the width have to be the same. Width, I want the width to be also 300 pixels. Okay, Then here the display, we want the display here to be grid, display grid, because we want to have these grids here. We want to have the display has to be grid because we have to come up with like 9 grids. Okay, display grid. Okay, so after that we can now go to our cells, because remember the cells, the cells have to be the cells. Remember that in the cells we are going to be placing our x's and the 0. So the cell, so we target the cell for this CSS rule. Okay, so we want the border bottom. Remember, border bottom will be the line, the horizontal line actually. Okay, border bottom will give us the horizontal line. So border bottom, we want it to be 5 pixels. We want it to be solid. We want it also to be a color of white. You see, things are now coming. The horizontal lines are the whatever. We get the horizontal lines in the border bottom CSS rule. So we want the colors have to be white. Okay. Then at the same time, we want the border right. Okay, border right to be the same, 5 pixels, solid, of a white color, white. Okay, okay, we are coming slowly by slowly. I want the font size, to be 50 pixels. And the other thing you want the text align center. The text that's going to happen to be in those squares have to be in the center. The text has to be in the center always. Okay, so that's the importance of the CSS, of the text align center CSS rule. The other thing, we want the color. This is the color of the text, the X or the 0, that's going to be this in the squares. So I want that color to be white. Okay, then the other thing, the cursor, want to hover, the cursor has to be pointer. Cursor, pointer. Okay, yes, we're not yet there, because this the board, we have to first do something on the board in order to achieve exactly what we want. So remember, we gave the board display of grid. So on top of that, we want the grid template, that as in the columns and the rows. So let me start with the columns. So we want the columns to be, repeat, 3, 1 FR. See, we are getting our access slowly by slowly. Okay, then the other thing is on the, we're going to do the same on the rows. So we're going to give a grid template, rows, the exact same CSS style. So repeat, 3, 1 FR. Okay, all right, so that's where we are right now. Okay, so we want to achieve this, but we are a little bit close to this. Just that here we have to remove this line, and also this line here at the bottom here. These 2 lines should be off in order to achieve what we want. So to achieve that, we have to target some nth child. So I want to use the nth child property, the CSS property of nth child, in order to target this, and this. So at first we're going to start with a dot cell. So we're going to target the nth child, and inside here I'm going to pass the 3n. What does the 3n imply? 3n here will be targeting these children, this child, and this child. So 3n implies that any child in start, like we're going to start from n is equal to 1. So from n is equal to 1, that's where we're going to start from. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to target this. I'm going to target this square. Then from 1 we go to 2. So 3 times 2 we go to 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's what target that one. Then from 2 we go to 3. 3 times 3 is 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to target this, and this. So that's what we're going to be targeting here. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to give a border right none, because we don't want this border we're seeing here. So I'm going to give a border right none, border right none. Okay, you see they have disappeared here. So I have to target these children you're seeing here also. So to get those children, I'm going to use another CSS rule here called cell nth child, and here I'm going to be targeting n plus 7. Okay, so what does n plus 7 imply? Remember, I want to target this child, and this child, but to get this you have to add a certain number to 7. Okay, a certain number to 7 should be added, a number which is starting from 0 to upwards. Okay, so when you add a 0 to 7, you get 7. So you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll target this square. Okay, from 0 you go to what? To 1. 1 plus 7 is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I target this one also. And from 1 you go to 2. 2 plus 7 is 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'll be targeting these children below here down. So when I've gotten them, I can now give a border bottom of none also. So I'll be giving border bottom, so that I remove this border you're seeing here. Border bottom none. Right, so perfect. Okay, so inside here, when I try putting an x tells to appear there, and I try putting 0, oh, you see they're exactly in the center of these squares. Perfect. So I think now we've achieved like a half of what we are supposed to be achieving in this coding challenge. But before any further, I want to introduce another CSS class. This CSS class will be called highlight, and we're going to use this. We're going to use this class. We're going to use this class when the player wins. Highlight. Okay. Remember, I want the game to be in a way that when there is a winner who wins. Okay. When there is a winner, we want to make sure that those cells are being highlighted with another blue color, like we saw in the demo. So I want to put it here briefly, and we're going to be getting it from this is the moment to let me just demo it out here. Show me we have it here, highlight. Okay, we have your X. So I'm going to target this cell. Okay, cell dot highlight. So it shall give a background color. So background color of blue. Okay, it's a nice blue color which has to appear when a player wins the game. Okay, so we're not going to use this class right now because we have to use this logic in our JavaScript. Okay. Okay, let me first. Okay, our game is responsive enough on the big screen, and even on the small screen it's really responsive. Okay. Okay, so now we're done with the CSS, we're done with the HTML. Now we're going to the biggest part, the biggest part of our game, which is the JavaScript. Because JavaScript is the one that gives the interactivity to this game. Okay, so I'm going in my index.js file. My index.js file is where the link to my index.html file. So inside here, I want to target. Remember, I have to target these cells. All these cells, I have to target them through this line of code. To target those cells, I'm going to create a variable called let cells. So these cells will store. We're going to be targeting all these cells. So we're going to use a document query selector query selector all. Remember, we want all cells, okay, of having this class. All cells having this class, okay. So with this line of code, you are getting all the cells here, okay. To do that, through that you can easily see. So that you can access all the cells you're seeing here. You can access them through this line of code. So once now we have all these cells here, we have to use a what? We have to use a for each helper, a for each loop to loop through these cells and do some logic there. Okay. So since we have the cells, we're going to use the for each loop. So in these cells, we're going to loop through all the cells here. Remember, this line is getting us all the cells you're seeing here. So since now we have the cells stored in this variable cells, so I want to loop through these cells. So I want to use a for each loop. So for each cell, okay, through this line of code, for each cell, okay, use an arrow function here, arrow function syntax. So for each cell, I want to add an event listener. So that event listener will be responsible for assigning either an X or a 0. So that will be the use of that event listener. So on click here, I'll be putting an X or a 0. So this line of code will give us that functionality. So I'll put cell dot add event listener. And what's the event listener you're adding? We're adding a click event listener. So click click the click event listener, pass a callback function to this add event listener function. So this callback function, okay, yes. So we are here now. We're adding an event listener to all the cell we are having here. So every cell here is having the on-click event listener. Okay. So now the other thing we're going to do, we're going to access, we're going to use what we call the inner text of this cell. So this cell, every cell you're seeing here is having an inner text. Okay, it's having an inner text. Okay. Before maybe I proceed further, it would be better if maybe I show this to you in our browser. Let me show you this to you in our browser. I've copied this HTTP, this directory here you're seeing here. I've copied it and pasted it in the web browser. So I want to show you something here. So here I want here to first console log the cells and see what these cells are having. Console log console.log cells. So okay, so when I inspect this and turn in, so we're having a node list here. When you console log cells, you get a node list of cells. So here we're having access to each cell you're seeing here. Each cell you're seeing here has other attributes. Okay, these are one of the attributes it's having. It has the area disabled, area description. There are very many attributes here. Okay, but for the purpose of this challenge, we're going to be using there's a specific attribute you're going to be using called inner text. Let me look for it here. I show it to you. It's called inner text. Yeah, it's here. So this attribute here is the text. You're going to be inserting text inside here. So through this inner text, we'll be able to add the text there. Okay, let me first try it out and you see. So you're going to access cell. Remember, the cell has the inner text attribute. So we're going to say cell.inner text. It also has the inner the HTML, but we're interested in the inner text. Inner text. So inner text will be equal to, let me try putting a O. Okay. So when I click here, I have to get an O. Okay. You see, I'm getting an O. If I change here to X and I click X, 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 X. Wonderful. But this is not what we want actually. This is not what we want, though we are getting closer to what we want actually. Okay. So here we don't want to manually. We don't have to manually put this X or and O here. So we want to create a variable that will store what the user is putting into the cell. So our variable that has to store that has to be called current. Let me call it current player. Let current player. So we want the current player to be. We're going to start with an X. We want to start with X. Okay. So here instead of putting here X, we're going to put current player. Okay. Yeah. Now working perfect. But remember, we want this thing to be alternating. If I put X, the next time I have to put a 0. If I put a 0, the next time I have to put an X. And now currently just putting X like that. Okay. In order to achieve that, in order to get alternating characters with X and the O, there is some helper. There's some logic you have to put here below here. So the logic is very simple. When having current player is equal to current player. Let me just put it here before I explain it. Oh. So if you're having an X here, the next time we'll be getting it's 0. No, an O. If having an so this logic, this line here you're seeing here will be alternating our characters, the x and the o character. Okay, so here this line is telling us that if the current player is an x, okay, then you put an o. Okay, otherwise you put an x. Okay, so if initially we had an x before, then o will be inputted into our cell. If we had an o initially, then our x will be put into the cell. Okay, so when I put an x, next time I have to get a 0. When I put x, next time I have to get a 0, like that. So that's the purpose of that this line of code. Okay, so we are getting close actually to the final solution. But before, inside here we have to create a function that checks for the winner, because we want to end up with a winner with this game. We have to create a function called check winner. Check winner function. Okay, so this function called check winner is going to perform some number of tasks. Okay, so I'm going to create that function here. Up, create function check winner. Doesn't receive a parameter at all, just checks for the winner to see which player has won. Is it player X or is it player O? Okay, so here we have to come up with some winning, we have to come up with some other thing before proceeding to this function, and that thing is what? The winning combinations. What are the winning combinations? First of all, the winning combinations have to be all the horizontal lines, all the horizontal lines you're seeing here, I mean all the horizontal lines you're seeing, and all the vertical lines you're seeing. All these vertical lines are winning what? They are winning combinations. And these two diagonal lines you're seeing, this one and this diagonal line, so what? A winning combination. Okay, so we have to create a variable called winning combination. So let winning combinations. So it will be an array. So it will be an array of different arrays. Okay. So remember this is index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So those are indexes. So the winning combination will be 0, 1, 2 is the winning combination. So come and put it here. 0, 1, 2. Okay. It's a winning combination. Okay. The other winning combination is 3, 4, 5. So put it here. 3, 4, 5. Another winning combination is 6, 7, and 8. 6, 7, and 8. Okay. So go to the horizontal lines also. What are the the vertical lines? The vertical lines have 0, 3, and 6. Okay. 0, 3, and 6. Then another one will be 1, 4, and 7. Another one will be 2, 5, and 8. They are winning combinations. All the vertical and horizontal lines are winning combinations. So go to the diagonal lines also. The diagonal lines will have 0, 4, and 8. Okay. 0, 4, and 8. The last one will be 2, 4, and 6. So these are the winning combinations that we are going to be having in this game. And inside the check winner function, we're going to execute some logic here. Okay, I want to loop through all these winning combinations and determine who is the winner. Okay, so we're going to use the for each loop. Okay, so winning combinations dot for each for each combination you're seeing here, combination. So for each combination you're seeing here, you're going to perform some tasks here, seeing. Okay, so we're going to be performing here some tasks for each combination. Remember, these are the winning combinations. If a winner, if a player falls into any of these combinations, then you can easily declare that person as the winner of the game. Okay, so we're going to make a check here. Let's check. Create a check variable. So remember, for each combination, accessing each combination, that every so combination dot every, we are going to be accessing every cell in that combination. Let us assume we are using the 0 1 0 1 2 combination. So we are going to access that combination and access every cell there. So every cell there has to be having the same character. If it's an X, all the cells have to be having an X. If it's an O, all the cells here in that combinations have to be having an O in it. So that's the purpose of this line, combination that every. So inside here you're accessing the index index of the cells dot inner text dot trim is equal to current player. So let me explain this recent line I've written. Okay, so this variable you're seeing here, the check variable, is storing this logic here. So we're accessing every combination I put there up, and for each combination you're accessing each cell. Okay, you're accessing each cell at this index, at a particular index, and then for each cell it should be having the inner text of the current player, as in everything has to be the same. If it's an X or an O, all those cells have to be the same. If it's an X, all the cells should be having X's in them for you to declare them as a winner. Okay, so that person to be a winner, everything in that combination has to be the same. So that's the purpose of that line of code. Okay, so okay, yeah, I think that's it. Then with that variable check, so that variable is storing either a true or false variable. So it's either true or false. So if check, we say if check, if this is true, if the check is true, then we have to highlight the cells that have won. Okay, so we're going to create a function here that highlights the cells. We're going to call it highlight cells, highlight cells. Then you pass the combination of those cells. Pass the combination. So if this is true, then you just highlight those cells, all those cells you've seen. Okay. So I have to create this function here below. Let me just create it here below here. Call it function. It's a very basic function. Highlight cells having combination as a parameter, combination, and then inside here I'm going to be doing some basic simple computations here. So here I want to highlight the winning cells. Okay, so loop through the combination, but for each dot for each, and for each. So this is the winning combination, and I'm accessing the index of every cell here in that combination. So index, for each index, you can just access this that cell through this index. You access the cell through that index, and then in that cell you add a class. Okay. So this highlight cell receives a combination. This is the winning combination of a player. So you look through that entire combination. Assume you're having this 0, 1, 2. So for each combination, that for each index, okay, for each index there, you access it. You access the cell. You access that cell through that index, and then you add that on that cell. You add the class list. Class list of add class list of highlight. Remember, we created a class. I can remind you, we created a class here called highlight. So that highlight will be responsible for highlighting that winning combination. Okay, you add it here, highlight. Okay, I think here we are good to go. You can test that our solution x 0 x 0 boom x. So this guy has 1. Okay, let me repeat it again. Okay, x 0 x 0 x 0. Yeah, this is the winning combination. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so we are almost done, except that we are going to add, there's some little thing I have to add. I want to add the text here to show that either player X or player O has 1. So the text has to be in the green color. So I think I'll create a variable here. There's a variable I have to create, and in that variable we're going to be having the winner. Okay, we'll be displaying the winner. Okay, so I'm going to create a variable called winner. I'm going to create a variable. First of all, I want that text to appear here. That text has to be appearing here above the board. Okay, so I have to be having a div. This div, so this div should be storing, we'll be having a class of winner. Okay, so if that's the class, so I have to come and assign, I have to give it some CSS here. So remember, I want that text to be in a color green. So I'm going to say winner, and inside here I'm going to put a margin. I want margin top, margin bottom of 40 pixels. So that text shouldn't be near this board. It should be a little bit up, and the color to be green. Want font size extra large, want it to be visible. Font family, can either put the font family or not, it's not important. You can choose any font family you want here for this case. Yeah, okay. So after adding the class here called winner and putting the CSS styles there, so it's now our role here to insert that winner. So winner, I'm going to access that through document.query selector. Then we're accessing the class. Then we're accessing the class called winner, because one thing in this text inside here I want to add the winner, either player X or player O as one. Okay, so we're accessing that winner class. Okay, so inside here I just put inside here I just reassign winner.inner text to be equal to player, put a space, then player, player, concatenate it here, player, current player as one. Okay, let us try it out again. X. Wow, you see the text player X as one. Okay, let's try player to win this time round. Wow, player O has one. Wonderful. So this brings us to the end of this video. First of all, we created a file having our HTML file, index.html. We linked through this line of code, we linked the CSS file. Then at the bottom, we linked the index.js file. So inside here, we created a board having multiple cells. Okay. And in the CSS, we gave the stylings of each and everything you saw there aside. And then in the index.js file, first of all, we accessed each cell you're seeing on the board, and then we iterated through those cells, each of the cell, and then each cell we are assigning it to an inner text of current. So after that, we check for the winner. After checking for the winner, then we have to change the current player basing on the current character on the board. Okay, we are in the check winner function. We got the check winner function, whereby we first created the winning combinations, whereby the winning combinations are either the horizontal lines, the vertical lines, or the two diagonal lines. Then for each winning combination, we look through each winning combination. Then for each winning combination, we made the check here to see if the index, each cell in that winning combination is having the same character. Okay, through this line of code. If it's true, if check is true, meaning that they're having the same characters, we highlight all those cells through this function. So that function is created at the bottom here after the check winner function. So the highlight function looks through every combination, and then for each cell in that combination, it adds the highlight class, which we had already specified in our CSS file. So the highlight class is just simply highlights the winning line. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, and share this video so that can have the momentum and passion of creating other videos. Because if the people I'm creating these videos for are really liking what I'm creating, it always motivates me to create more other videos like this. So thank you for watching this video. We'll meet in another video. Bye bye.